very good evening to you. This is Prime TV News. Let's take a look at the headlines first. President says he will not give up his dedication to build a virtuous society. AG seeks a detailed report on Easter attack suspects. Emergency is extended for another month. Signs of avoiding the provincial polls. And in headlines overseas, India launches second moon mission. And now we move on to the news in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that he will not give up the dedication to build a virtuous society on behalf of the future generation. The President was addressing a function held this morning at the Reggie Ranatunga Science College in Minuangoda. The President pointed out that education is a priority target in building a virtuous society. The educational rights of all the children are secured as a result of free education. The President mentioned that a special part of the work had been discharged to strengthen free education in the face of various challenges during the last 4-year period. The most challenging centre to make Sri Lanka a virtuous society is the Valikada prison. The Navy seized 270 kilos of heroin from the sea under the programme mooted with respect to the drugs prevention programme with Iranian drug traffickers. From the phone recovered from them, it was clearly found that they have spoken to the Valikada prisons. This clearly indicates that they have contacts with the Valikada prison. He said that the CID is at present conducting an investigation who steered these drug peddlers from the prison. He queried as to why most of those in the political sphere are against him. This is because he is against these crimes. There were 5 presidents before he took office. He said that everyone is aware of the charges held by them. He said that everyone is aware of the charges held against them, other than D.B. Wijayatunga. He said that there are no charges made against him during his 4 years and 7-month period in office. Whatever insults he had to bear, he said that he would be dedicated to build a virtuous society. The President recorded a statement in the special guest book after inspecting the newly constructed Vijay Maitri Memorial Building. Noteworthy was the planting of a sapling in the precincts of the school to mark the President's visit. Deputy Registrar of the Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya, the Venerable Madagamuwe Vijay Maitri Thera, delivered a special Anushasana. Attorney General Dappula Dilivera today instructed the Acting Inspector General to provide him with a detailed report with respect to the suspects arrested over the bomb attack unleashed on Easter Sunday. The Attorney General has instructed the Acting Police Chief to provide information including the number of suspects arrested and the current inquiries that had been carried out with respect to them. He has been informed to submit the report concerned before the 24th of this month. An extraordinary Gazette notification has been issued extending the state of emergency in Sri Lanka by another month with effect from today. The relevant proclamation by the President has been issued by the Presidential Secretariat and is signed by the Secretary to the President. The President said in the decree he believed there was a public emergency in the country and was invoking provisions of the Public Security Act extending the state of emergency. Elections Commission Chairman Mahinda Deshapriya has said that it is likely that there would be no time to hold a provincial poll. He was addressing journalists at the office of the Elections Commission. The Elections Commission chief said that the poll can be held if there is a court verdict. If not, it is not possible. Now the Parliament cannot handle the matter. If not, the President's action should succeed, or else the mentioned judicial case. It has been postponed to the 9th of September. A motion has been filed for the immediate hearing of the case. He said he believed it would be held. Sometimes it may not be possible. He also expressed views on the period in which the presidential election could be held. The presidential election could be held after November 9th and before December 9th. It cannot be held on November 10th as it is a Sunday. December 8th too is also a Sunday. It cannot be held on November 11th, 12th, 13th or 14th because 14th is a full moon Poi day. Between 20 to 30% of the polling booths are temples. If so, the nearest day the election could be held is November 15th. It is the opinion of legal scholars that the provincial council polls cannot be held according to the old preferential system or the new electoral method. This has been mentioned by Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasan. Accordingly, the UNP General Secretary said that is the opinion of the party that there is no possibility of holding the provincial polls before the presidential elections and that the presidential elections should be first conducted. Elections Commission Chairman Mahinda Deshapriya had recently announced that the provincial council polls can be held before the 15th of October if the Supreme Court rules that the old election system is valid, if the delimitation report is published in the Gazette. The UNP General Secretary was expressing views in this respect. The UNP General Secretary pointed out that a final decision should be taken with respect to the executive power to end the political anarchy that has surfaced in the country and that a presidential election should be held immediately in this respect. The General Secretary further mentioned that it is fruitless in talking about a provincial poll. Former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and Inspector General of Police Pujith Jayasundara, who has been sent on compulsory leave, appeared in the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court today. They are accused of not taking action to prevent the loss of lives and property during the Easter Sunday attack and neglecting their duties. Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Piris told the judiciary that statements had been recorded from the first suspect, Hemasiri Fernando. He further said that statements had been recorded on 2 occasions from the second suspect, Pujith Jayasundara. It was also due to record statements from him today. A lawyer representing IGP Jayasundara said that his client has been affected by a recent press statement issued by the Attorney General's office concerning the case recently. However, the Deputy Solicitor General responded saying that he was not aware of the statement and it would be brought to the attention of the Attorney General in due course. The Chief Magistrate ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to hold further investigations and report to the judiciary on the 3rd of October. Meanwhile, the Attorney General's revision petition against the Chief Magistrate's decision to release the suspects on bail will be taken up for support at the Colombo High Court tomorrow. The Supreme Court has announced that the fundamental rights petition filed by Dr. Mohammed Shafi, who was remanded over multiple charges, would be taken up on August 6th. The announcement was made when the case was taken up before a 3-judge bench headed by Buwanakal Vihare today. The Kurunegala OIC, the Director of the Criminal Investigations Department and the Acting Inspector General of Police have been cited as respondents. Dr. Shafi, who has been remanded upon orders by the Kurunegala Magistrates Court, argued that the charges against him were false and baseless. He has been accused of multiple charges involving terrorism, money laundering and the sterilization of mothers. Dr. Shafi has requested that a stay order be issued releasing him from custody. Deputy Solicitor General Thusit Mudalige, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, pointed out that it is necessary to secure instructions with respect to the other respondents who have been named in the petition. The Supreme Court issued notices as certain respondents had not received notices. Still on local news, President Maithripala Sirisena joined in a special mass organized to mark the 3rd month commemoration of the Easter Sunday attacks. The commemorative mass was held at the Cathedral of Christ the Living Saviour at Bauddha Lokamavata in Colombo. President Maithripala Sirisena participated in this special commemorative mass. The mass was celebrated by Archbishop of the Church of Ceylon and Bishop of the Colombo Diocese, Right Reverend Dilo Raj Kanagasabe. A group including Minister Sujiva Singh joined in the occasion. A Sri Lankan passenger has been detained at the Bandaranaike International Airport for attempting to smuggle out Saudi riyals worth of 8.93 million rupees to Chennai, India. Customs media spokesman Sunil Jayaratne said that the suspect was arrested at the departure terminal of the airport last evening by the customs officers attached to the Kadunayaka International Airport. The customs media spokesman said that the suspect was identified as a 23-year-old businessman from Vaunia who frequents flights between India and Sri Lanka. The contraband, worth 190,000 rupees, was seized from the suspect's backpack. Investigations on the matter were conducted by the customs officials. It is reported that the suspect was ordered to pay a fine of 100,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Navy has succeeded in recovering 70 kilograms of beedi leaves from the Battalangudu coast. The recovery was made during a search operation carried out by the Northwestern Naval Command. These were wrapped in 2 parcels. The Navy said that the Northwestern Naval Commander, during operations carried out in the past few days, had succeeded in recovering 1,200 kilograms of beedi leaves. In the meantime, CCTV footage displaying the manner in which a high-speed motorbike crashing into a shop had been received. The accident happened in the Monoragala town. 2 persons who were injured have been admitted to the Monoragala hospital. Karindum and Sellam the Sellam, authored by Secretary of the National Movement of Web Journalists Thamira Manjula, have been presented to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The event took place at Temple Trees. The book Regime Karindum contains songs composed during the last presidential election. It also comprises several incidents that took place during the past regime. It came in for acclamation at the South Asian Literary Festival. The other book, Sellam the Sellam, contains the experiences gained by Thamira Manjula as a sports journalist. This book contains many contents that have hitherto not been revealed in the 1996 Cricket World Cup. The Sellam book won the award for the best book at the 2018 Silk Sports Awards Festival. Secretary of the National Movement of Web Journalists and Manager News and Current Affairs of the Independent Television Network, Chaturangati Alves, was present. The book Salute Eka, authored by ITN journalist Sujit Vidanapatirana, based on the experiences in the battlefield of the humanitarian operation to rout LTTE terrorism, was launched with the aim of socializing the heroism of the war heroes. The launch of the book Salute Eka, written by ITN journalist Sujit Vidanapatirana, took place at the Western Provincial Council Auditorium with the participation of a large gathering. The book has been written based on the experiences gained from the commencement of humanitarian operations undertaken to free the country from LTTE terrorism and the final operation to crush LTTE leader Velupille Prabhakaran. The first copy of the book was presented to Corporal Karuna Ratna, disabled in the war. The second copy was handed over to the daughter of Lieutenant Colonel Lalita Singh, who sacrificed his life on behalf of the country. ITN journalist Suranga Basnaik, who was injured while on duty covering the humanitarian operation, was presented with the third copy of the book. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa and many heads of the security forces graced the occasion. Chief Senior Deputy Inspector General of the State Intelligence Nilantha Jayawardena has been summoned to the Parliamentary Select Committee that is inquiring into the Easter Sunday tragedy. The Parliamentary Select Committee that is investigating into the Easter Sunday attack is slated to meet again on the 24th of this month. Senior DIG of the Criminal Investigations Department Ravi Seniviratna and the Director of the Criminal Investigations Department Shani Abeysekara have been summoned to the committee on this day. In addition, Director of the Terrorist Investigation Division Varuna Jayawardena and Police Inspector Tharanga Patirana are also due to be summoned to seek evidence. It is mentioned that the report of the Select Committee with evidence is due to be completed by the end of the first week of next month. In the meantime, addressing newsmen in Colombo today, Janatha Vimukthi Peramuna Propaganda Secretary Vijitha Herath, expressing views on the Parliamentary Select Committee, said that in the past few days, discussions took place that the President will not be coming to the Parliamentary Select Committee. The Parliamentary Selected Committee meant Parliament. It has been appointed by the Parliament. If so, it is compulsory that the President should make a clarification of the decisions he is taking with respect to the problems of the country before the Parliamentary Select Committee. This is clearly mentioned in Article 33A, and it says that the President is responsible to Parliament with respect to public security. And finally on local news, Mrs. Kusum Piris, a veteran announcer who adorned the radio for many years and who had composed many meaningful songs, has passed away. She was 71. She joined the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation in the 1970s and became very popular within a short period. She had been featured with many awards, including the Presidential Award. In addition, she was also a radio dramatist. She has penned many popular songs, including Gang Ivure, Hitagawa Dangakala, Sihinaya Kyoba, and Asaru Sanin Eka Mohotakadi. Apart from being a songwriter, Kusum Piris was also a veteran dubbing artist who played key roles in Muan Palasa and Monarathanna. The funeral will take place at the Aldenia General Cemetery in Kadavatha on the day after tomorrow. And now let's have a look at today's exchange rates. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Prime News returns tomorrow, and in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. I'm Umayangi Vijay Surya signing off for Prime TV News. Good night.